Okay. Oh, fuck no, it's like totally crooked. Alright, so I'm here with Yashar at the Chiang Mai SEO 2019 conference. So maybe you can give a little bit of background about yourself, briefly describe your business, who you help, and how long you've been doing it.
For sure. So I'm an affiliate SEO primarily, as well as owning e-commerce businesses in the US. And so we have an e-commerce store for supplement products in the US and also affiliate sites that power those. Additionally, we have in Scandinavia a few affiliate sites in the loans and gaming space.
Okay. And let's start from the beginning. Like, what were you before we got engaged?
Like before I started using Serpent back in 2013, I had a lot of projects, projects that I had started that I didn't really know where they were. So like I had so many different sites, a few Amazon affiliate sites, a few CROs, a few PPC campaigns. So I had so many different sites, right. And I had no idea where each one was. But the way I found out was by opening a guest window on Chrome and like searching for the keywords, right. And kind of one by one checking how each site was doing when I wanted to find out. I didn't have a history. I didn't have any. Sometimes I jotted around a notebook how it was before and I kept ideas in my mind. But I didn't have a historical. Didn't have the data in a structured way and accessible.
Okay. Yeah. So what kind of problem were you trying to solve with that?
Just being more organized and having systems in place. And as an SEO, there's so many things that change and so many updates that happen. And having a place to view, how your sites have changed since an update, and being able to diagnose, any change that you make on your site and how it's, affected real time, or let's say you make a change 2 weeks ago, you can see how your site for all the keywords and all the pages has changed for that. Which is by searching manually for each keyword, you kind of get a keyword by keyword overview, but not a holistic view of your whole site at once.
So by doing that, what job does that accomplish?
Just knowing where your sites are and knowing where you stand, and especially in fast-moving spaces like CBD and like finance and loans, where so many things are changing at once and you don't even know where you stand. It just kind of gives assurance, and at least I know part of my system is I know where my sites are and I know what I need to do.
Okay, cool. And so you mentioned you were writing these things down in notebooks and stuff and doing all this crazy stuff. So what was your frustrations with that?
Just as the number of sites I had grew, as the number of keywords, from making sniper sites for getting one keyword, as those sites develop, it's hard to scale searching keywords one by one manually. As you build more projects, it's hard to scale that. And there's you have a mental note of where your site was historically, but not here's how your site's been doing for the past month. There's no data that you have by just jotting it down. You just throw it away, a week later. There's no.
So with that notebook, what results were you trying to achieve with that?
Just tracking and seeing my progress, and what was I doing that was causing the movements, what was I doing that was working, what wasn't, so I can replicate that across all my projects. Let's say I built some links. I bought some back then. It was GSA links, links. I would search for those keywords I was targeting, do it once every few weeks or once every few days to see how it was doing. I didn't have a day by day breakdown of how it was doing for which keywords. I had a general idea of how the site was doing based on guesstimates of I built around this, built links around this time. I can add I didn't have the data in one place.
Okay, and then with Serpbook, what results did you achieve with that?
Just saving so much time. If we need 1,000, for my 1,000 keyword plan, it's impossible to do that manually. And just knowing, especially for if you have a partner in a project and you're the one that's in charge of SEO, instead of them asking you how's the site doing, asking you for updates on your end of the thing, sending a link where they can check at their own freedom how the site's performing and not bug you about it. And for clients, white labeling that and sending that over for that just saves so much. Part of the deal with clients is just having them bug you and what's the status now, what's happening, what's changed. With Serpbook, it takes some of that pain out.
Right. So with that, I guess what areas of your business or life improved, and by how much?
I would say what areas of my life? Probably just productivity. How much time I know how to allocate my time better based on how projects are doing. Let's say there's an update that once I shut up in my portfolio, let's say 100 sites, for example. Once I shut up, I know with Serpbook, from that day on to invest more resources on that site and focus on the winners versus trying to focus on sites that I think are going to do well or I think may perform well or may go up.
Okay.
Just guesstimate versus having hardcore data to back my decisions up and what to focus on, given having so much.
So now that you're able to track the data, why do you think that this helped you improve your rankings and your projects?
When you have more than one project, it's keeping track of how your projects are doing, and you get to base what you invest your time and resources into based on like how they're performing, and whether it's if it's dying, you don't want to keep on throwing money at that. With search engine humanity, with having no data to see how past things have affected your site, you're kind of just throwing darts at the wall blindly. Not really sure if you're buying links again from the same provider. How do you know they worked? How do you know the time frame was? How do you know? It's just doing things, repeating them across multiple sites.
Yeah.
If you do it on one site, within 1 week you see results. It's more easy to justify spending time and resources applying that to your whole portfolio, knowing that our whole site went up after we did these changes, and with Circle we know that we can justify those changes with data. Sending hey, we did this on X date, the site went up. Here's proof of it. This is why I recommend that we invest into a client, for example, in XYZ.
Okay, so what's your ROI been so far with using SERPbook?
I mean, searching 800 keywords a day. That would take up my whole day. So ROI time-wise, I don't think I can put a price on the time. Actually, SERPbook multiple times per day. I'm the one that's refreshing. I'm updating my keywords and refreshing and using my credits almost every single day. So
you're the one lagging our system.
I'm the reason the site was down earlier.
Oh shit.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
For me, especially I like to know up to the latest second how my sites are doing. I'm refreshing those day by day. I'm checking that so often to where. What was the question again?
What's the ROI?
The ROI. Yeah, I mean, time-wise, immeasurable. To do what SERPbook does manually, or how I was doing it before, it's you can't even compare. ROI is client-wise, keeping clients happy. I mean, how much saving stress and saving mental anguish of dealing with clients asking you everything, or partners asking you when you're in charge of SEO. I don't think you can put a price on that kind of stuff that SERPbook saves.
Okay, cool. And what do you think the impact of using SERPbook has been so far for you?
I think overall, I'm more confident in my decisions with SEO.
Okay.
I know that if I perform something, I'll have data, historical data, and future data to be able to see how those changes affect my site, and based on that, make changes in the rest of my portfolio. And doing that with confidence makes it easier to justify spending so much money on let's say content and links or whatever you change you made based on how it performed in data.
Okay, cool. And how did you first hear about us?
So my partner sent me a SERPbook view key link.
Okay.
And for a site that we were shading, oh, this is really cool. Right. What's this? And,
that's a shareable link, right?
Yeah, shareable view key link.
Yeah.
And from there.
And what about that what piqued your interest from that?
Interesting. With other SEO tools, I need to get a login. I need to she needs to share his password. I have access to all his projects. It's the granularity of projects and be able to share those and with who you want, not your whole account, and it just makes when you have so many things going on as an SEO. You have clients, you have partnerships, you have JVs, you have your own sites. Just giving access to the whole account as you would with any other SEO tool, it's impractical. With this, it's I guess that's what drew me. It's a very new idea of use it to share his Ahrefs account. I love his Ahrefs account, his password, and see everything else he has. Count with it.
Right. And then why'd you decide to do business with us? Why'd you pick SERPbook?
Back then, it was the only rank tracker that was available. I mean, before all the other ones came, it does the job. It's simple. There's the bells and whistles that everyone else provides. I don't really see value in those. I mean, you need a rank tracker. It just checks your ranks. It gives you the data. What else can you really ask for?
Okay. And why'd you decide to pull the trigger for SERPbook at the time?
At the time, my partner, the fact that he used it and he was a more serious SEO than me, that was the motivation, that he used it, and I guess he was the better SEO, and then that justified my decision.
And now you're the better SEO?
I like to think I'm a better SEO. It depends on who you ask.
Okay, fair enough. And describe using SERPbook. Like, in what area did you get the most value?
Just for me, as the historical, the day-by-day rankings, but also just the ability to refresh instantly.
Yeah.
That's for me, especially someone that likes to know, like kind of micromanage and know where everything is at every single second of the day.
Yeah.
Like if I build a new site and I like to know where it is instantly, and instead of having to wait 2 days for a ranking update or get bi-weekly data or or report every single week in your email. Here's what's changed since last week. I know a granular day-by-day breakdown. I can give you the more broad picture as well with the keywords up, keywords down, kind of a more holistic view. But the granularity and the ability to customize that granularity is the main thing.
And why do you think that is? Like, why did you decide that was the most value?
It's easy to see a site going up and assume that it was a straight line up, but the changes that you make compound to make those trends. You need to see that data yourself. And some things may harm it, some things may improve it, but knowing what and when that causes an overall trend to go up, you can cut the things that maybe took away from making the site go up and make it more optimized process next to make it an even better trend. So it's easy to know, I'm doing SEO, the site's going up, but what really that you're doing is working. And with SERPbook, I can track.
All right, great. And how likely are you to recommend SERPbook?
I feel like I'm in the intercom asking me on the bottom. 10.
Yeah?
Yeah.
10. And I would have a sequence, but I'm not programmed right now. Is the intercom bot? You're talking about the intercom bot, right?
Yeah. How do you
Just kidding.
To a friend?
Yeah.
Right? This
then NPS score. And so for the person listening right now, why should somebody take action?
I mean, as an SEO, you need to know. We're at best we can influence Google. I mean, Google is fluid. I mean, at best, as I say, we can influence Google. You can't for sure make our site rank. Even the best SEO can only work to influence the algorithm, please the algorithm. We need to know what we're doing is working and what works and what doesn't. Because at the end of the day, we're just kind of just throwing darts at the wall and hoping something works. And when something works, we need to know that it was this. And with the data at SERPthreads, we can go back and say, hey, we did this on this site, this happened on this site.
Well, take some notes and mark it on the graphs and stuff.
And make changes based on the future campaigns based on the data.
Okay, cool. Thanks so much.
Yeah,
Again,
course.
we're
with Yashar.
Yashar. Okay, thank you.